guys, if you're new here, my name is Sam and I make videos about makeup, chronic illness, and whatever I want. And today we are going to do a recap of my 2022 goals and talk about my goals for 2023. I have been very MIA because my health this year has not been good so far. Out of breath. So winter is always really rough for me health-wise, but with Elsie adding on to my other health issues, it has been extra difficult. So I've just been doing a lot of rest, listening to my body, and we are here. So let's start by going over my 2022 goals and see how I did on them. I don't do resolutions if you're new here, because I don't know, they're always just kind of like icky how they're looked at. It's always change myself, exercise, blah, blah, blah. I just like to set goals for myself and intentions and see what I can accomplish. It's sort of like a to-do list. I think it's more fun. I think it's more easy to accomplish, and there's no like guilt or force involved. First thing on my list, and I have it written down here. Hopefully it's the same as what was in my video, but it was organize my hard drive. I partially did this. I made the mistake many years ago by just backing up my photos onto my external hard drive because I had an iPhone. And back then you couldn't, I don't know what it is now, I haven't had an iPhone in a while, but back then you could not move things to folders. You could only make a copy in a folder. So it was just nonsense that I put in one big folder and backed up on my external hard drive. Since I've switched back to Android, I do keep folders sorted on my phone. So when I back them up on my external hard drive, things are a lot more organized. I was able to organize things on my hard drive. The only thing I haven't done, and it will be a very long process if I choose to do it at all, is go through those old phone backups from the iPhone days and try to sort those pictures. I don't know if I have that in me. So this was kind of a yes. Next, I'm going to start journaling. I did do this, but not consistently. And I think that's okay. Ideally, I would love to journal every day, but I just don't think that's for me, and I don't think it ever will be. So I'm not going to try to be someone I'm not. But when I'm having strong emotions, or I'm bored, or I just need to brainstorm, I have been journaling, and I very much enjoy doing it that way. I think I didn't enjoy journaling because I thought I had to do it every day. I thought I had to meet these specific requirements, and it felt like too much pressure. Now that I'm just allowing myself to journal as I feel like it, it's a lot more sustainable and a lot more enjoyable. So we accomplished that. Next, get back to yoga and start a mobility routine. This did not happen because, if you're new here, I threw out my back in the spring last year and I thought it was like a pulled muscle or something, but it ended up being a twisted pelvis and the start of scoliosis. So I guess scoliosis is anything over an 8-point curve, and then obviously there's severe scoliosis, etc. I was at a 7-point curve in my spine, so I was 1 point away from having scoliosis. So from the spring of last year until almost the fall, I was only doing physical therapy. So I guess in a sense, I did start a mobility routine, but not in the way I intended. I don't know if you want to count that or not. Use social media with intention and not as a distraction. Not only did I do this, I actually considered at one point like deleting certain forms of social media, but I realized it actually helps with YouTube and talking to viewers, etc. So I've left them, but I very much get on social media with an intention and not to just scroll because I'm bored. So I was successful. Modify my favorite recipes to be gluten-free. Yes, but I don't know if it's sustainable. So I was able to modify all of my favorite foods to be gluten-free and either substitute it or just eliminate gluten altogether. However, some of my favorite things require gluten-free flour, which is incredibly expensive. So it will just be for special occasions. And I have just learned that I will have to find new regular favorites to have that are just gluten-free but not super costly, especially with this recession that we're in. it is not feasible to spend like $13 on a pound of flour. Next one was finish my photography course. I did not do this. Not only did I not do this, I haven't even opened the photography course. So, fail. Give Seinfeld a try. I did. I watched Seinfeld and I love Seinfeld. It is so good. I understand why it is a classic and why it is a favorite of so many individuals. It is a really funny show and definitely my type of humor. Start my day with an hour to myself and self-care. I would say that I definitely have done this. My intention with this goal was to not get up and immediately start scrolling my phone. And I have done that. I wake up, I take my medications. In the winter, I do my little sad lamp. I turn on Mango's light, etc. I will check my phone. I will answer text messages and stuff, but I don't immediately get on social media like I was. I will say I need to do better with what I was intending to get to with that. I was hoping I would get up and do my stretches, etc. And I did when it came to my physical therapy for my back. I had to do it when I woke up and before I went to bed. So I guess it wasn't completely a fail. It wasn't the way I envisioned it, which is okay. So I guess I'll count that as a win. The next one is work on boundaries with everyone, not just those closest to me. And this was probably my most successful goal. I did EMDR therapy this year, which was not planned. It came literally out of the blue. I just realized that boundaries were something I really needed help with. I needed help with my trauma. I needed help with my anxiety, and I definitely couldn't do it alone. And that's okay. It's okay to ask for help. Help is helpful. Do it. Use your resources. Those things exist for a very good reason. And I know I am a completely different person than I was in January of 2022, and all in good ways, because I did so many good things for myself and my mental health. And honestly, I'm the queen of boundaries now. I don't have anxiety about saying no. I put my foot down. I say exactly how I feel. I'm not malicious. I'm not mean. I know a lot of people don't like it, and there are some people who get very uncomfortable and really dislike the fact that I just don't put up with things. I don't put up a front. It's like, I'm not going to be harsh with my truths. Like those people who are like, I'm just honest, but really they're mean. Sometimes the truth isn't what you want to hear, and it might feel mean, but it isn't mean to say, hey, I think you deserve better than what's happening. I'll tell you that. Like, I understand that you are scared to leave your job, but I think you deserve to be better treated by your employer or your spouse or your friend, or, I'm not afraid to say those things. And if it upsets you and it isn't the type of friendship you need, I can acknowledge that. I'm not going to force anyone to stick around and be uncomfortable with the way that I choose to handle my relationships. Like, if that isn't what you want, then I'm okay. And I won't be offended if someone is like, I need something different out of our relationship. I completely support that because I want everyone to be happy and comfortable. And my last one was work. Work on YouTube, work on my makeup skills, work on Instagram, just work. That happened. I don't exactly know what my follower count is right now, but I know that I am over 300 subscribers, and I'm ecstatic. Thank you all so much for being here. Like, you have no idea what this means to me to know that 300 people give a single crap what I have to say. Like, wow. That's so special to me. And to see all the comments that I get about like how I'm helping people function, feel better about themselves, realize that they're not alone. Like, that's the best thing that I could have asked for. And I'm so grateful. And just thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for literally any way that you support me, because I love what I'm doing and I can't wait to just get bigger and better and do more and help more people. And I couldn't do it without the people who are here right now and any of the people who show up in 2023. I'm just so excited to see what happens. On that note, let's talk about what I'm doing in 2023. Let's see if this wants to load for me. Today is Friday. I'm a little late this week because I crashed after a chiropractor appointment. The first goal is log off for Shabbos. If you aren't familiar, that is the day of rest for Jewish individuals. It starts at sundown on Friday night and goes for an hour past sundown on Saturday night. You're not supposed to work. You're not supposed to, do a whole bunch of things. But for me, I want it to be my reset period. I don't check social media at all. I don't do any kind of housework. I do that during the day on Friday. Generally, this week will be a little different because of my health, but I just want to relax, reconnect, and have a designated rest day and make it part of my culture. I have already started this and I have mostly been successful. I do forget when I forget what day it is, which is very common when you have a chronic illness. I am going to extend it through Sunday morning though, because I think just having a little more than 24 hours is a good idea. I don't think I'm going to miss too much from Saturday night to Sunday morning, if that makes sense. The next one is spend more time on my hobbies. Video games, art, reading. I love certain video games like The Sims, Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing, City Skylines, but I find so many reasons to not do it. I have actually been playing Stardew Valley a little more, but it's so easy to find laundry to do or a chore or, write a script or whatever that I don't really do my hobbies. I don't know the last time I just colored in one of my coloring books or painted a picture. So I really want to make sure that I make more time for those types of things this year. Start my gallery wall. So here, I'm not going to turn the camera, but right now I have cut up cardboard all over my wall for two reasons. One, sound insulation, and two, heat retention. This wall has nothing on it and it's an outside facing wall, so it can get kind of cold because the way our house is facing, the wind just blows right along the side of it. It's also a bare wall, and I used a mid-tier paint, and dark paints mark up fairly easy, smudges, scratches, etc. So there's smudges all over this wall because if you saw previous videos, I used to have all of these IKEA cubes, all these white cubes, and it was on this wall. So it's all scuffed up from that. I would like to cover the scuffs, but also give it some insulation. So the goal is to make a gallery wall, various types of art and stuff, and just fill the wall up. It's going to look really cool and it's going to be multi-purpose, and I would like to get that started this year. There's no way I'm going to finish it. It would be way too expensive. I want to buy a lot of art from independent artists, support independent artists, but some of the art I see from small artists is just so cool. There's an artist named Zach Dunn who does these beautiful paintings. Well, beautiful in my eyes. They're kind of spooky, like Pennywise and stuff, but beautiful. And I have 3 on my wish list that I want from him. Prints. So things like that I would like to add to this wall, and it's a big wall. I have it mapped out to where it won't interfere and show up here, but the rest of the wall I can do. So I want to start that this year. This next one is kind of goofy. Figure out how to keep my neighbor's cat from using my garden as a litter box. So my neighbor has an indoor-outdoor cat, and I have a lot of feelings about indoor-outdoor cats. Basically, they shouldn't exist because they're horrible for the bird population and they're horrible for the cats. So please keep your cats inside, please. But this cat likes to use my mulched areas as a litter box, and last year it jumped the fence to get into my vegetable garden to use that as a litter box. So I cannot plant vegetables until I clean all of that out, as it can make you sick. I don't have any plans to do outdoor projects aside from the couple of cleaning things I have here, just because inflation. But I would like to get something, some kind of mesh fencing or chicken wire or something to keep the cat from pooing in the garden. The next one is get taller hooks for the bird feeders. I only have short shepherd's hooks, and again, because the cat kind of hangs out in the yard, I don't want the bird feeders to be too low. It generally isn't a problem. The cats don't often hunt birds because they're fed cat food because they are pets. So they generally leave most of the birds alone. But I don't want to take any chances and I want to protect the birds. So that's the last outside project I would like to do this year is just power wash the house. Kind of self-explanatory. I already have the cleaning solution and the power washer. It's just time to do. Like, the north facing side of the house is just dirty as it doesn't get any sun. So if I feel up to it, I would like to do that. No other projects. I don't even know if I have any plans to just plant too many seasonal flowers aside from my usual little things for the bees, like brain. Planters for the bees. Next up is my low-buy. I mentioned this in a video. Was it the last video? My memory is terrible. I think I mentioned it a few times. But anyway, my intention this year is I really want to focus on the things that I have, and there's multiple reasons for this. 1, inflation. I don't need to say more than that. 2, I'm very happy with where my collection is, and I really want to work more on practicing my application skills and then really being able to appreciate the stuff that I have. And 3, I think it is just a good idea for everyone to take some time to reset mentally their spending habits. So my rules for my low buy are as follows. Replacements, things I run out of, like foundation, things that need replaced every so often, like mascara you're supposed to replace every few months. Skincare, shampoo, those types of things. Limited edition items that I must have. Like, these are things that will speak to my soul that I feel like I would regret not buying. An example here is the Odin's Eye Christmas Eve and Christmas Day palettes. I still think about that on a regular basis, probably like a few times a week, on how I shouldn't have slept on that. The reason I did is I hadn't tried Odin's Eye at that moment, and I wasn't sure if I was going to enjoy the formula. And now that I have tried Odin's Eye, I'm even more upset that I didn't snap those up. But if I feel like I'm going to regret it, like it seems like Glamlight has a second Scooby-Doo collection coming, so I will grab that. And the yearly holiday palettes that come out, like Pat McGrath's holiday palette stuff, those types of things I will purchase. And then Black Friday, indie sales only. I really want to try more indie brands, and I want to make sure that any kind of money I want to spend on Black Friday, I want to try new things. I have a list going in my phone of things that I want to try. I want to try Black Moon Cosmetics liquid lipsticks because there's some really fun colors. I want to try Clionadh Cosmetics eyeshadows. I feel like there was something else that I really wanted to try. Oh, I know I'm not super into glitter highlighters anymore, but I have really been wanting to try a Kaleidos highlighter, and I'm very interested in their multi-chrome eyeliners. So little things like that I'm very interested in getting, and I have plenty of mainstream brand stuff, and if it isn't limited edition, like a Pat McGrath holiday palette, then it can wait. It'll be there next year. It's not that big of a deal. So those are my low buy rules. Not super strict, but also strict enough that just makes me a lot more mindful of the things I want to buy. I know some people gave themselves like limits, like you could buy like 3 eyeshadow palettes at most each quarter or something, but I feel like that was too loose for me. I have a lot of eyeshadow, I have a lot of makeup, I just don't need it, you know? The other thing is, when I said replacements, I'm going to include in there like foundations for different seasons. Like I'm wearing a winter shade right now, but all my other ones are summer shades, and I went out in public with a summer shade on recently and it was embarrassing. So I will count that as a replacement, being able to get like summer and winter shades of my foundations. Okie dokie. Next one is find my new movement routine within my new limitations. So this kind of feeds off last year's like find a movement routine, work on mobility. I'm bringing that into this year as well because I have very different physical limits now than when I made that list. I wasn't sure how Elsie was going to add to my disability at that time that I made that list. I didn't know that I was going to have like the star scoliosis. I didn't know any of those things. So now that I do, now that I'm aware that I have incredibly different physical limitations, I'm going to go into mobility and movement more consciously, slowly, and really hammer out the new limitations I have, just so I don't have as many crashes as I did in 2022. The next one is finish my nail polish declutter. I started decluttering my nail polish last year and I got a big chunk of it done. What is left is I have probably like 20 to 24 shades that I don't remember the finish, like the sheerness or opacity is the word I'm looking for, or how like long they last before chipping. And my battery is dying. Let me switch this. So what my goal was is these handful of shades. I wasn't quite sure because they're newer. When I went on a vacation up north, Shopko was going out of business. It was like OPI nail polishers for literally $1.99. So I snagged all the colors that appealed to me. And so now I'm working through the stash of, do I still like this color? Do I like this formula? How long does it last? And because really the chip test only works on my hands, it takes a while to get through it. I realize I am saying this now, I could do one color on each hand. I don't know why I hadn't been doing that, but it was taking a while because, you know, I was doing one color on hands. I have found that I don't like OPI's creme formula in most instances because it is not opaque, it is streaky. I have a lot of feelings about OPI. I could probably make a whole video about it, and I just might because I love nail polish, and OPI has almost made me not like nail polish in the last few years, which is quite sad. I digress. I want to finish testing these up so I can get the ones that I don't want out of my collection. What I have been doing with the ones that I don't like is we have a family friend who does like acrylic art, and she mixes in the nail polishes with her acrylic, and it looks really cool. And I'm glad they have like a new home. So I want to finish that up, make sure that, you know, I have what I want. So far in like the last couple of months that I have been doing it, I would say I'm decluttering more than I'm keeping, which makes me happy. I would like to try, as part of my indie beauty Black Friday, I want to try Holo Taco for sure, and some other indie brand nail polishes. That was the thing I forgot. And my final goal for the year, to just grow again, both professionally and personally, continue to work on myself, continue to emotionally grow, continue to broaden my horizons, and, you know, just be more open-minded, be more apologetic, be more understanding. I want to continue to grow YouTube, my content, my subscribers. I want to continue to grow on things like Instagram and TikTok, and really just like put my head down and focus on growth in general. And I'm very excited to see what I get to reflect on next January. If you guys have any goals for 2023, and they don't have to be anything, you know, super wild. It could just be like, hey, I want to like read this popular book this year. Like, that's cool. Let me know down below. I love to see what people are excited about, what they want to try. Maybe you want to try new food. And with that, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time.